an explorer who became the first black Briton to reach the North Pole, has been announced as the UK's new Chief Scout. Dwayne Fields grew up on an inner city estate in London and turned away, in his words, from a life of weed, cocaine and guns. He takes over the role of representing the country's 500,000 or so Cubs and Scouts from Bear Grylls, who's been doing the job. And for over a century before that, the position of Chief Scout was largely the preserve of privately educated, retired officers from the armed forces. So when I spoke to Dwayne a little bit earlier, I congratulated him and asked him about his new job.
The Chief Scout title is grand. It's much more than I would ever achieve, but also it comes with a lot of responsibility. That's what it means to me. I mean, right now in the UK, we've got 500,000 plus scouts that meet every single week. We've got 145,000 plus great volunteers that support these young people that meet in our huts and groups every single week. And you know, they look to me for some leadership. They look to me as a role model, and it means that I have to fill that space with the support of the leadership team. And I think it gives me the platform to explain to them that I walked through the doors of a scout hut in North London when I was 7 years old, scared, new to the country, anxious, really shy, and a place to belong. Scouting gave me the someone to believe in me and allowed me to believe in myself.
The story of what Scouting did for you is quite extraordinary, because when you say you were terrified and scared, you were surrounded by the most extraordinary violence growing up in East London.
So initially I actually grew up in North London. And for me, the challenge there was I was brand new to the country. I came from rural Jamaica. I didn't quite know how things here in the UK worked. And later I did move to East London, where street violence, you probably know from some of the reporting you've done in the past. There was a lot of street violence. There were robberies on the streets, there were knife crime on the up and up. There were lots of issues, social issues, in terms of youth violence as well. And I think Scouting instilled in me something, a level of self-belief that I carried through all of that. And it supported me in making the right choices at the right times. And I think it played a huge part in me being where I am today.
Your body is testament to that violence and what you had to survive before turning your life around.
Yes. I'm assuming we're talking about the incident where, unfortunately, I was stabbed. I was a victim of street violence. I've never carried a knife in malice. I've never carried any instruments in malice. And I was, I suffered a stabbing incident.
And also an attempted
just for
shooting.
being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yes, I did. Again, this is the world that I grew up in. And it would have been so easy for me to slip and fall on the wrong side of the tracks. But in terms of my self-confidence, my self-belief, all those really important, I mean, sometimes we look at it and call them soft skills, empathy and patience and understanding and, communication skills. All these things played a part in me making the right decisions at the right time. And arguably, I learned those and developed those in Scouting.
And one of those decisions was that you wanted to be an explorer, as well as what you are now, TV presenter, reaching the North Pole.
Yeah, so way back in 2010, I decided the best way that I could make a difference was by being an example to people. And I decided to pick myself up from East London and walk to the magnetic North Pole, starting in northern Canada. And that's exactly what I did. I thought, look, if I want to make a difference, I have to start by trying to be a role model and trying to be the change that I want to see.
What do you say to people listening who fear that Scouting still has an old-fashioned image, that it's still the idea of the woggle and the uniform and Baden Powell, and that doesn't appeal to modern people who have the alternatives of, the computer game and YouTube?
I'd say, listen, Scouting is a great place to bring people together, make friends. I'm testament to that. It's a great place to develop all the skills that we still need, whether it's 1920 or 2020. We still need the skills of communication. We still need leadership. We need to build our self-confidence and our self-belief. Scouting provides all of that. Now, there is an element of woggles and campfires and neckers to it. And I think that's the fun side. But the truth is, Scouting provides a place for so many young people. 500,000 plus young people every single week meet up. 145,000 plus volunteers meet up, and they make a difference in their communities. They make a difference to young people's lives, and we're developing young people and growing the kind of world that we want to see. There's nothing like walking through an airport and seeing a necker on somebody else, and instantly you feel like you're part of something. And for me, that doesn't get old.
Dwayne Fields, UK Chief Scout, thank you so much for joining us.